These users have the same capabilities as standard moderators, but in addition, they can manage the close button. Learn more. Close button.
I know I'm...
Finish button.
Okay, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. This is a severe weather live stream, severe weather briefing, initiated by Weather Stormlord for the northern half of Indiana, as a significant severe weather event is increasingly likely into this evening and tonight. Let's start off with the general view of things. So at first, let's take a look at the risks we have here today. The northern and western sections of central Indiana are in an enhanced convective risk for severe weather. This would include Lafayette, Kokomo, and out west into Illinois, and then up north into southern Michigan, and then northeast, I believe that includes Grant, Blackford, and possibly Jay counties into northwestern Ohio as well. This is going to be a mainly damaging wind event, as this is a what the Storm Prediction Center is calling a possible derecho event. So we may see a significant wind event across at least the northern half of our viewing area this evening into the overnight hours. Further south, we have a slight risk covering the remainder of our viewing area, includes Indianapolis, where I am in Noblesville, Anderson. However, one other thing we need to note about the enhanced risk is it is very, very large, and the Storm Prediction Center is also hinting at a possible upgrade to a moderate risk. Now, where this moderate is going to be, I'm not entirely sure, but the National Weather Service is expecting a significant severe weather potential, at least across the northern section of Indiana, possibly into the central states. So we could get spared by this, but at the same time, it may go further south. So it is certainly something that we need to watch as we go into the evening hours.
Welcome to Weather Republic Moderator. Hi button.
And good morning.
Weather Republic chat options. Weather Republic Moderator. Gonna have to speak up button. Weather Republic Moderator. My headphones are broke button.
Oops. How did you lose you broke your headphones? Okay, then. But, United, welcome to the stream. It's been actually a while since we've actually communicated over stream like this. But what we are looking at is a very, very serious situation coming into this evening, because I know the enhanced risk covers mainly the northern and western sections of our viewing area, but I think it may be expanded to the east and possibly south, especially if this line manages to maintain itself. In the last aerial forecast discussion that Indianapolis put out around 10 o'clock this morning said that a line of thunderstorms or a cluster line, something like that, is going to develop over out to the west and then dive southeast into the viewing area, and they're expecting it to maintain itself. They said it should stay severe, at least in the northern sections, so certainly something we could end up going live for.
Weather Republic Moderator. Hang on button. Weather Republic Moderator. Back button. Weather Republic Moderator. I could hear button. Weather Republic Moderator. Hang on button. Chat options.
But while he gets that figured out, I am going to go over the main threat here. So the main threat for tonight is going to be, like I mentioned a minute ago, significant damaging winds with possible hurricane force. Damaging winds of 60 to 70, mainly over, again, the northern half of Indiana, with a potential for maybe up to 80-mile-an-hour winds with this line across primarily western Indiana as well. Now, there is going to be a tornado threat. However, it is limited. There is a 5% tornado risk in this enhanced, which is slight criteria.
Weather Republic Moderator. Speak closer to mic button.
I don't know where the mic on this thing is. But as I was saying a minute ago, the main threat is going to be 60 to 80-mile-an-hour winds along this line, along with the threat for a few brief tornadoes. However, the tornado threat is going to be limited by multiple factors that we'll get to in a minute. But in the meantime, let's go over the setup we have here. So the enhanced risk, like I said, extends northern, western Indiana, far northwest Ohio, a majority of the northern half of Illinois, and into Iowa as well.
Chat options button.
So that's where the risk area is today, and convective timing is our next topic. The convective timing, according to the National Weather Service, is between 10 p.m. and, in my opinion, 7 a.m. I think that's going to be the most likely time frame for severe weather. However, I don't expect it to get into our viewing area until 11 p.m. or to 1 a.m. time frame. So yes, I do expect we will go live this evening. However, I don't think we're going to go live very quickly. I expect we probably won't be live until after midnight.
Creator tools button. Chat. Weather Republic Moderator. There may be a moderate upgrade button. Weather Republic moderator. Speak closer to mic. Weather.
Yeah, I am aware of that. Somebody else was mentioning it on another stream I was moderating. I think there is certainly potential for a moderate upgrade and a southward enhanced risk expansion towards the Indianapolis Metro, because the Indy Metro isn't a slight. However, I would not be surprised if the enhanced extends further south, particularly if the line is stronger than initially expected. We could be dealing with what I can best compare this to as a June 22nd, 2016 type scenario, where we had a very, very damaging line of thunderstorms move across primarily the northern half of the area. Actually, the risk area is very similar to that, except it's not a moderate, it's an enhanced.
Weather Republic moderator. Timing will be there now. Button. Weather Republic moderator. Timing will be there now. Button. Weather Republic moderator. Speak closer to mic. Weather Republic moderator. Should I look at models? Chat options. Weather
Yes.
Republic moderator. 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Button.
10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Thank you.
Weather Republic moderator. Timing will be there now. Weather Republic moderator. Timing will be there now. Weather Republic. Speaking rate. Headings. Sounds. Off. Language. Characters. Words. Weather Republic moderate. Timing will be there. Characters. Words. Character. REYAL. Weather Republic moderator. Should I look at models? Button. Chat options. Weather.
But 10 p.m. to 4 or 5 a.m. is probably going to be the most likely scenario. And now the only question that remains is how far south is this going to reach? Because I could see it going further south than they initially forecast, because it is going to be moving east-southeast at a high rate of speed. So I would not be at all surprised if we get absolutely hammered by damaging winds, especially in Kokomo, Tipton, Atlanta, Arcadia. I'd say that's the farthest south the significant hurricane force winds are possible, unless this enhanced risk is extended south and or a moderate risk is introduced.
Chat options. Weather. Orientation is locked. Rotate device back.
At this
Finish.
time,
Button.
like I said, I do plan to go live, but probably not until after 11 p.m.
Weather Republic moderator. Hang on. Button. Weather. Chat up. Creator. Chat. Weather Republic moderator. Should I look at models?
Currently, the Weather Service still expects the line probably to develop late this afternoon into this evening over Iowa and or Illinois, and that's going to be what is going to produce all this severe weather late this evening into the early morning hours. Now, the question that remains for the majority of our viewing area is this going to reach far enough south? Because the Weather Service is highlighting areas north of I-70, which includes a chunk of our area, not the entirety of our viewing area. So keep in mind, if you are south of I-70, the severe weather threat will quickly diminish. So basically, Indianapolis and points south are going to be probably not in the severe risk.
Weather Republic moderator. Expecting it to weaken past Marion but could live into Indy. Button. Chat option. Weather.
That would make sense, but my only question is, would it remain severe levels? Because honestly, that's what I see as well. We'll see if it maintains itself into the Indianapolis Metro as severe levels. Because honestly, I could see it prompting warnings, but honestly not being significantly severe. So like I compared it to a minute ago, this is basically June 22nd, 2016's track all over again for the northern half of our viewing area. Now, for those of you that don't remember what happened on June 22nd, 2016 into the morning of June 23rd, 2016, multiple lines of strong to devastating thunderstorms moved across an area from Lafayette to Noblesville to just north of Indianapolis, producing damaging winds in between 60 and 100 miles an hour as reported by Central Indiana Skywarn.
Weather Republic moderator. Hello. Button. Chat options. Weather.
Now, like I said, I'm not concerned about areas south of Indianapolis for this event. I am more concerned about anywhere from South Bend west to, or actually, let's start west. From basically the Quad Cities to South Bend to Indianapolis. So basically, areas north of Indianapolis are going to be where the main threat of this area is.
Chat options. Weather.
Now, the tornado threat is going to be very minimal this afternoon, and mainly this evening, because, I mean, there's no convection developing this afternoon because there's a very strong cap in the atmosphere, which is currently preventing storms from initiating. If there were no cap, we would probably be dealing with a vicious afternoon round, because we have a very, very unstable atmosphere that's going to be in play this evening with over 4,000 joules per kilogram of CAPE in the area, which is going to allow for these storms to remain severe if they can progress this far south.
Weather Republic moderator. Actually, button. Chat options. Weather Republic.
Now, working with the National Weather Service's latest aerial forecast discussion, the worst of the severe weather will probably be around the 1 to 2 a.m. time frame. hold on. Here's the hazardous weather outlook for you.
For the period today and tonight, a thunderstorm complex will bring the risk for severe thunderstorms to central Indiana late this evening into the overnight. Damaging winds will be the primary severe threat, especially across the northern half of the area. Storms will also be capable of torrential rainfall producing localized flooding, dangerous cloud-to-ground lightning, and brief isolated tornadoes. Thunderstorms will move southeast at 30 to 40 miles per hour. Heat index values to around 105 degrees are possible this afternoon. And now the extended outlook for the period Tuesday through Sunday. Thunderstorm chances will continue through Wednesday night. Severe storms will be possible Tuesday. Damaging winds and heavy rain will be the primary threats. Heat index values to around 100 degrees are possible Tuesday afternoon. Spotter information statement. Spotter activation will likely be needed this evening and tonight.
Weather Republic moderator, 6000J/KG maybe, button.
That would be a lot more cape than they were initially expecting. And if that's the case, we could be dealing with, yeah, I could see a moderate risk upgrade.
Weather Republic moderator, parts of the area nearing 7000J/KG cape, button. Chat options, weather.
I feel like lapse rates are a problem, though, because they didn't even mention lapse rates in the short term or aerial forecast discussion. So, I think there's a heck load of cape in the region. However, I think there are a few limiting factors that are going to prevent this from going too far out southeast of Indianapolis. So, what's going to happen, as I was mentioning, is this is probably going to go outflow dominant and track more to the southeast through the northern half of central Indiana over the Indy Metro, and that's really when we're probably going to see it start to weaken and fall off. As it moves into the eastern half of the viewing area. Now, I'm not gonna take Blackford, Grant, Delaware, and Jay counties out of the woods because I think Muncie could actually kind of get a hammering from this event.
Chat options, Weather Republic.
Now, depending on how far south this ends up, we could be dealing with a very significant wind event across a majority of the northern sections of our viewing area. So basically, anywhere from Kokomo to LaFountain to Lafayette to Noblesville is going to be in a risk of damaging significant wind gusts. The only question we still have here at the studio is, will this be upgraded to a moderate? I could see that happening, and will the enhanced risk hold, or will it be expanded further south and east? That is what we're going to figure out here through the coming hours.
Weather Republic moderator, Marion and Muncie look more favored, button. Chat options, Weather Republic.
That's what I'm agreeing with that. I think Marion and Muncie are in a pretty bad spot as far as this is concerned. So, I could see the line still moving across the northern half of the Indianapolis forecast area. However, certainly want to keep an eye out in the eastern half as well, because not only is this going to hit north of the Indy Metro, but it looks like it's going to be a direct hit on the city of Muncie should it maintain itself.
Chat options, Weather Republic moderator.
Again, the main threat is going to be damaging winds of 60 to 80 miles an hour. According to the National Weather Service in northern Indiana, a few higher wind gusts cannot be ruled out, in addition to a few brief spin-ups. But the limiting factor that is going to be that these storms are in a line. If they were discrete, then they would be more of a problem.
Chat options, Weather Republic.
But because they're not discrete, we won't be dealing with a violent tornado threat like we could be dealing with if we had, say, a very discrete setup with multiple supercells. These could contain embedded, small supercell structures, but I wouldn't really expect them to do much in terms of tornadic activity.
Chat options, Weather.
So the main threat, like we mentioned a minute ago, is going to be Indianapolis, north of Indianapolis, over the Muncie area, LaFountain, Marion, Miami County is certainly getting in that, Kokomo, Lafayette, up north out of our viewing area into the South Bend area.
Chat options, Weather.
So this is what you can expect for the northern half of Indiana. Now, if you're at Indianapolis and point south, you are going to be clear from this event. You guys have been taking a hammering the last few months, especially after what happened back in June in Bloomington. You guys are going to probably be pretty happy to not be in this risk because an 85-mile-an-hour wind event went through Bloomington in June, and that caused a lot of damage. And they actually had to declare a state of emergency. So we don't want to see that happen again tonight. However, I think that is certainly a possibility.
Chat options, Weather Republic moderator.
Now, fortunately for you in Bloomington, the event is going to be way north of you. More Crawford, let's call out Crawfordsville, Lebanon, as far east as probably the northern Indianapolis metro, as east and south as the north Indianapolis metro. So again, we'll have to see what this line does as it moves into the area, because they're fairly confident the line is going to develop, which is why the SPC is holding it in enhanced
Chat options. Weather.
and considering an upgrade to a moderate. The other thing that's going to be in play here is the heat wave. I wonder if that might actually limit the threat a little bit. Now, let's touch on something real quick for tomorrow, as there is another severe threat tomorrow. However, it is substantially lower than what it was today. So, there is still a threat for isolated severe storms in the afternoon hours, but the main threat is going to be heavy rain and possibly some flash flooding.
Weather Republic moderator. Bill Hicks helping it. Button. Chat options. Weather Republic moderator. Bill Hicks helping it.
So with this instability we have today, we're going to get this probably jaw-dropping event tonight, and then we're going to have another event tomorrow. However, it's going to be mainly a flooding event. But my main focus is the squall line that should move through tonight, because if it holds together, we're going to be dealing with a very dangerous situation. But if it doesn't, then we might actually end up getting spared in our viewing area. Now, do I think that's going to happen? I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to wait and to see how this plays out. I do think there probably will be a watch issued for at least the northern sections, like Delaware, Madison, Tipton. It could be a little bit further west, like Boone and Hamilton. I think Grant County is definitely going to get hammered. We'll have to see.
Chat options. Weather Republic.
Again, if you're just joining us, we are covering a briefing for a potential significant severe weather outbreak, as well as a possible upgrade to a moderate risk for the northern third of the viewing area, which would be Lafayette to Kokomo to Marion.
Chat option. Weather Republic.
So mainly right now, the main threat, like I said, is a significant, substantial, damaging wind. It would be a very strength-wise similar to June 29th of last year, when we had that storm move across pretty much the entirety of the Indianapolis metropolitan area. Fortunately, the event this time is going to be further north and probably a bit of a shorter line.
Chat options. Weather Republic.
But the comparison that I've made several times is June 22nd, 2016, and I'm going to stand by the statement, because the outlook is worded very much differently, and we don't have any pre-line storms with this event. But the catch to this is the track of the line looks like it is going to be very similar to what we experienced with that one event that I just referenced.
Weather Republic moderator. I couldn't hear anymore. Button. Chat option. Weather Republic.
United, I think you might need to change your headphones.
Chat option. Weather Republic moderate. Finished. 17 minutes 42 seconds. 17 minutes 44 seconds. 1 watching now. 0 likes. Weather Republic. Weather Republic moderator. I couldn't hear anymore. Chat option. Weather Republic.
But we are still monitoring. We're going to be monitoring for the next several hours. Like I said, we're probably not going to go live as soon as the watch is issued, depending on timing, because I'll be doing some other things.
Chat options. Weather Republic.
But we will just have to see what happens as the event begins to unfold out to our west. I will not be releasing a second live severe weather briefing. However, I will keep you guys updated via the community tab as to what's happening. And you will also be able to find me in the live chat on another stream.
Chat options. Weather Republic.
Done by somebody else. The Weather Service still maintaining this enhanced risk for the northern half of the viewing area. And again, we've mentioned this several times, and we'll mention it again. There is a decent potential here that the Storm Prediction Center upgrades at least some area to a moderate risk. The only question will be, where would the moderate risk be in place? Because I could see it across northern Illinois, but the question is, will it extend into Indiana? We'll just have to wait and see.
Weather Republic moderator. I'm gonna head out. Sign. Chat up. Weather Republic moderator. I'm gonna head out. Sign. Button.
We will see you tonight, United. Probably. Unless what we did last time happens, and we don't get any severe weather worth streaming for. Because the last time I said we were going to go live, which was in May, everything ended up being far weaker than we initially expected, hence why we weren't streaming that day. But we really don't have much left to say other than to stay very weather aware over the next little bit, and through the next, let's call it 36 hours. Just be weather aware, just in case these storms turn out stronger than expected tomorrow, or the severe weather event is just as strong as we're expecting tonight. So keep in mind there is still a potential for a moderate upgrade at the next outlook. So we are going to keep a very close eye on this as we go into the evening hours and into the overnight hours. We will be with you probably around 11, maybe midnight, depending on where the storm is. But thank you guys for joining us for this short briefing, and we will definitely keep you abreast as things continue to develop. So for now, we are going to terminate.
Chat options. Button. Finish. Finish. Live 21 watching now. Live 20 minutes now. Finish.
With Weather Republic, this is Weather Stormlord saying so long, everyone, and we will see you guys in the next stream, which will probably be tonight.
Alert. Can't end.